Welcome to this lesson on set theory. A set is a collection of elements. And elements can be colors, numbers, people. Basically anything you might want to gather data or find probability about. So an example of a set, first of all, a set is always in brackets. So here is a set of colors. And a universal set is a set with all possible elements. And a universal set is usually notated with a capital U. So let's say that I wanted the universal set of all single-digit positive whole numbers. So that would be 0 through 9. Those are all the single positive single-digit whole numbers. And a subset is a set with elements from the universal set. So I could take all the odd numbers from the universal set. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And I just used O to notate that it is the odd numbers from that set. All right, so there are 3 different relationships that we have to learn about sets. The first relationship is called an intersection, and that is the elements that the sets have in common. The elements that, let's say, 2 or more sets have in common. We want to think of intersection as the word and. It's from this set and another set. And the symbol for intersection is, it looks like an upside down U. All right, so let's take this example here. We have 2 sets. Set C contains the numbers 7 and 8, and set D contains the numbers 7 and 11. So if I want the intersection of set C and D, that means I want the numbers that both sets have in common. And in this case, that would just be the number 7. So you can just have one number in a set. All right, a union is elements, all elements from both sets. However, we don't want to repeat any elements. So think of union as the word or. So it has all the elements from this set, or both. And the symbol for a union looks like a U. It's different than universal set. Universal set has a little tail, and the symbol for union is just straight up and down. All right, so we have the same sets again. So if we want the union of set C and D, that means we want all the numbers from C and all the numbers from D. However, I've already written 7, so I'm not going to rewrite that, but I will write 11. All right, and then the complement is elements from the universal set that are not in the particular set you're talking about. So anytime you have a complement, it's always the complement of a particular set. All right, we're going to think of complement as the word not. They're not in that set. And there's a couple different symbols for complement. So let's say we want the complement of set A. We could notate that with a little apostrophe. It looks like a prime symbol. Or we can notate it with a straight line on top. It looks like a line segment symbol. Okay, so let's say our universal set is, again, all single-digit positive whole numbers, 0 through 9. And then we have a subset, set A, which is the numbers 2, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So if I want the complement of A, which you can notate like this or like this, that means I want everything from the universal set except for the numbers in set A. So I'm just going to go through and cross out the numbers that are in set A. So I don't want 2, 5, 7, 8, or 9. I want everything that's left. The reason it's called a complement is because set A and the complement of set A give you the universal set. They complement each other to give you the universal set. All right, let's try some examples with set theory. All right, so we have a large bag and it holds marbles of the following colors: blue, green, orange, and pink. And then we have a small bag that holds marbles of the following colors: red, green, yellow, and orange. So we want to define the universal set. So universal sets are based on the scenario. So in this case, the universal set would be all possible colors of marbles in this problem. Not all colors ever, because that would be impossible to list all the colors. We just want all the colors in this particular set. So blue, green, orange, and I'm just going to write the first letter. You can write out the whole word if you want. Pink, red, we have green again, but I've already written G for green, so I'm not going to list that again. Yellow, and then orange again. I don't need to write that again. So that's all possible colors in this particular problem. Okay, define the two subsets of the universal set. So in this problem, the two subsets would be the large bag and the small bag. So the large bag has blue, green, orange, and pink. The small bag has red, red, green, yellow, and orange. Now notice I do have orange twice and I do have green twice, but they're in separate sets. That's okay. You just don't want to repeat within the same set, within the same brackets. All right, draw a Venn diagram to represent the universal and two subsets. So when you are drawing Venn diagrams for set theory problems, you always want to start with a large rectangle. And the rectangle represents the universal set. And then the subsets are the overlapping circles in a Venn diagram. And you want to label them. Let's see, this will be large and small. And you always want to start in the middle. So you want to start here, which would be the intersection, what they have in common. And in this problem, the colors they have in common are green and orange. They both have green and they both have orange, so I'm going to put them in the middle, the intersection. And then whatever is left, I'm going to put in the respective circles. So blue and pink, yellow and red. All right, find the intersection and union of the subsets. So we need to label these correctly and notate them correctly. So intersection, I would notate L, the symbol for intersection, S. That means the intersection of the large and small bag. An intersection is where the circles intersect, what they have in common. In this case, it would be green and orange. They both have a green and an orange marble. All right, and then union, L, union, S. Union is everything from both. So blue, pink, green, orange, yellow, red. All right, next example. Suppose a universal set consists of all the single-digit positive whole numbers. Two subsets are created from the universal set, the set of all even numbers and the set of all multiples of 3. We want to define the universal set first. So single-digit positive whole numbers would be all the numbers 1 through 9. And then the two subsets are even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And then all the multiples of 3 would be 3, 6, and 9. All right, we want to draw a Venn diagram. So remember, the rectangle represents your whole universal set, and then we're going to draw two overlapping circles. Label one E for even. So the first thing that I want to do is fill in the middle. What do these two subsets have in common? That's the intersection. They both have the number 6. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of the even numbers, 2, 4, and 8. And then the rest of the multiples of 3, 3, and 9. And then I just need to fill out everything else that we didn't use. So we didn't use 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't use 5, 6, and we didn't use 7, 8, 9. We want them to go in the rectangle because they're still part of this universal set here, but they don't fall into either one of the subsets. All right, 8 says to find the complement of E. That means everything that's in the universal set that's not E. So in this context, it would be not even. So that would be all the odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You can also look at it as everything that's not in this E circle. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But then write them in numerical order. All right, find the intersection of E and M. That means what they have in common. That would be 6. That's where the circles overlap. And then we want the union of E and M, but not that, the complement of that. So basically, the union of E and M would be everything in E and everything in M. But we want not those numbers. So the numbers that are left over are 1, 5, and 7.